1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. How come 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3? I'm not getting any audio. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm not getting any audio. There we go. All right, cool. All right, cool. All right, so Microsoft, I guess, I don't know if this has been out or if it's just been put out today. This is a Microsoft Museum. We can look at the history of Xbox. Okay, so, all right, that's my little guy there. Okay. Meaning of green. Xbox is approved and funded. So let's just take a look at this. Okay, so
I still remember the guys coming over the first night. You know, Seamus, Otto, Ted, and Kevin came and said, we have this idea to build a game console. And then they literally dropped this board and dropped these components on the table and said, what would it be like if we did this and this and this? And can you sketch it for us?
I've probably heard this story a million times
because
because
pen on paper.
It's been on Xbox forever.
All I had was a green marker. All my other markers were all dried up at the time. I sketched things in black and green, and ultimately that stuck, and everybody fell in love with it.
That's cool. So the black green came from how he drew the mock-up. So Xbox approved and funded 2000. Jeff tries acquiring a Nintendo. Prototype is revealed.
Horace designed, he's like, dude, we need a Metal X, and it's got to have a green eye.
Metal X
shooting a laser out. I want it to blind people.
The idea was that there was this technology
awesome.
inside this big aluminum box that was busting at the seam, almost like a nuclear reactor. So when you look through this portal, you see this intense energy that's inside.
I remember seeing that.
Create that with, we shopped around for a whole bunch of green laser pens at the time.
Imagine having this in your house. That's fucking huge.
Just this intense thing that will shoot across the stage, and trying to make this thing as cool as possible, as capable as possible.
That is funky looking. God, that looks horrible. Glad they didn't go with that. And this is just a monstrosity. Holy shit. Alright. Microsoft acquires Bungie. That's Halo Museum. We'll get to the Halo Museum. Xbox finally gets a name. Bill Gates and The Rock join forces to unveil, which I'm sure everybody's seen this. Tiny Rock.
Thank you, Bill. It just might appear that The Rock and Bill Gates don't have a heck of a lot in common.
Duke controller, original Xbox.
Well, The Rock's here to say that can't be farther from the truth.
The thing is, like, my gamer tag I have now is not the one
everything The
that
Rock is. Cutting edge,
I started
powerful,
with.
exhilarating. I mean, The Rock doesn't impress easily, Bill. You know that, but I'm
I
pretty
think
damn
actually
impressed
Courtney,
with what
the
we're
account
seeing
Courtney has
today.
might be my original account.
Considering that this Xbox at this moment is only running on 1/5 of the system's power, it's very impressive. Bill, do you have any idea what The Rock would be like if he were only running on 1/5 of his power?
Well, I would think that...
It doesn't matter what you think, Bill. I'm sorry, Bill. It's just
Wearing
a force of
sunglasses,
habit. Rock
the flat
apologized.
top. Interesting.
Pre-internet, when a story would break, but it would take a little while for it to show up in print. So, unlike today's day and age where a story breaks within a matter of seconds.
You have to put yourself back in 1999 when
The
newspapers
Dreamcast
and
VMU.
television were super important, right?
Next Generation was a source for video game news on the industry side that a lot of the younger skewing game magazines who were publishing cheat codes and
The
strategy
Duke.
guides, we weren't really doing that. We were more, you know,
Yeah, it had
covering games
supposed
as
to
an
put
art form
things in there,
and
but I
certain
don't think I
business
ever
behind
got
the
anything
games.
that
So for us,
you actually
it was
stuck
really
in there.
important to make
They
sure
had
that
the
we
rumble
knew
built
what was
into
happening
it.
in the space and what people were thinking about doing and how the needle was moving. So we were talking to people behind the
Here's the
scenes at all the game
specs.
companies in a way that a
Like,
lot
the
of the
original
other
Xbox had like a
publications just
really,
weren't
really
doing.
good sound card in it
One
too.
day, one of my friends happened
Like,
to stumble
It was
into
a
one of
great
those
device for sound
conversations.
design.
And
All right, let's go. Xbox first games are showcased at GameStop 2001.
On March 13, 2001, Microsoft put their commitment to developers on public display at their
It's very much
GameStop
like
event in
Dreamcast games to
Seattle.
me. That's cool.
Thanks and welcome to GameStop 2001. What you're seeing is a sneak peek at what's to come on Xbox. We're going to start off with the game.
Yeah, Oddworld, I remember
whose
being a
vision
launch
was
title.
really just too big to fit in the PS2, so we brought it over to the Xbox.
I never played Oddworld though. It was just stuff. It wasn't my
Our
aesthetic.
characters certainly aren't the muscle-bound superheroes, you know, that we want to be. They're more like the poor, sad schmucks that most of us really are.
And then the engineering team needs a way during pre-testing to verify the Xbox software and hardware are working in harmony. Cue Dolphin, the non-interactive anime 3D scene. The dolphin swimming through the water is still used today as a stress test for all new products to validate that that every part of the system from silicon to software is functioning correctly. So this is
Dolphin
like a stress test.
Was a real-time 3D.
It's like there's a broadcast channel on
swimming
Microsoft
in
campus
water
that
with ground terrain underneath.
basically
And Dolphin was
just airs
enough
Pirates of the
to
Caribbean,
stress
Curse of the
almost
Black Pearl
every
over and
part
over and over
of
again,
the
and just does it
3D
nonstop. It's
pipeline
just testing
of an
hardware and
early
software and stuff.
pre-release Xbox system. And if Dolphin doesn't work, it means something somewhere has failed.
Xbox is launched. Can I climb on top of the Xbox? Yes, I can. When games hit, a much smaller controller, S controllers released, as we all call it at the time, as the Japanese controller, because Japanese people had small hands, is what everybody told each other. Xbox Live, that's what really changed it. Because before this, we had Xbox Connect. Tricked your Xbox into thinking it was LAN connected to another Xbox or over the internet.
Xbox Live is really different from anything else that's been done before. You're connecting people across the world to play games. And you know, everyone's trash talk when you're playing sports games. They're the most competitive things. Oh, I'm gonna get inside your head when you're calling your plays. People always want that top spot. They always want their name in lights.
Yeah, shit talking all started with sports games. And now nobody plays sports games. Well, people play sports games, but I think FPS have definitely taken over the game front. Games that launched. Yeah, Splinter Cell was definitely a classic. Nice Old Republic, definitely. Then the arcade. Remember the arcade. Xbox Live Arcade launches as an Xbox add-on to Xbox 360, but it's a surprise hit in its own right. Players love being able to drive, download their favorite small arcade titles like Defender and Joust. Developers love being able to create without needing infrastructure or a big corporation behind them. The good old Blades.
Xbox Live Arcade, I think at the beginning really was what became
Dr.
Xbox
Lab
Live
Benson.
Storefront now.
I remember
The
this.
plan was
and people foolishly think, oh yeah, we need to bring the
small
Blades back
because
so much
bandwidth
faster. Like,
was
they're
hard to get
fucking
at the time. It was a
slow,
lot
dude.
slower
They'd be
than
fast
that.
now
So you
on
had to
the
make a game.
new
I
hardware,
remember the
but
game had to be 20 megs. And 20 megs is unfathomable now, but like 20 megs size, so your game has to fit in that. And I remember like, okay, well, if that's going to happen, we're going to do these older games. So we did Robotron, Defender, Joust, Time Pilot, these classic
old school arcade games.
Those fit in 20 megs. And then Microsoft said, no, we're going to raise the limit to 50 megs. So we started making more complicated games. And while we're in the middle of doing that, they're like, oh, you can do 100 now. And then over that time, they ended up letting it go up to like multiple gigs of size. But for the initial launch, the concept was arcade games because people don't have the infrastructure to receive larger games.
that's cool.
when Xbox Live Arcade was first coming on board, which was really on the original Xbox, it was like literally a disc product that you had to put in.
Yeah, I
was
do remember
working
it was like a demo
at an
disc.
independent developer called Digital Eclipse, and we were contacted by Microsoft to start making games, arcade games for Xbox Live Arcade.
People wanted digital content, and they didn't want to have to go to the store to buy games, and if they could download it, if they could download these smaller experiences that were just easily digestible in a digital format, like, people wanted that, and that was this whole market that was untapped. And Xbox Live Arcade was the first to really prove that out.
What's this to? Go to the Halo Museum. All right, 2004. I just want to move to Washington. Fable came out. Halo 2 was coming. Forza Motorsports. What's this museum? Go to my Xbox museum. We'll go to that here in a second. And 360. Okay. Alright, so Xbox premieres on MTV. Of all places, really? Breaking with industry tradition, Xbox 360 is unveiled during a special televised event presented by MTV and hosted by Elijah Wood.
We wanted to try something new with the Xbox 360 launch.
So Microsoft partners up with MTV to do a half-hour special
I there was some of these
unveiling
glass cases.
the next Xbox. It was hosted by Elijah Wood.
You've waited long enough. I give you the future of gaming.
He's young and
Wow.
he'll connect with the audience, and
He's
they
young,
make
he'll
a
connect
whole
with the
spectacle
audience.
out of this half hour, and at the end,
No, he's in that Lord of the
they come
Rings
up,
thing.
Somebody walks up and just lifts the cover off, and you see this vertically standing Xbox 360 console, and it was just
Lord
such
Ring
a
of Death, though.
surreal party that we're filming for television.
They had some of the best ads
We
for
can all
Xbox
agree on
360.
one thing tonight. Xbox 360 is going to be amazing. And I look forward to meeting with all of you in the Xbox 360 universe. I'm Elijah Wood. Thanks for coming.
We sort of got a little over our skis in trying to go with MTV and putting together something that felt a little manufactured.
It's innovation with technology, and it's all it's all coming together.
Who's this
It was a
dude?
good lesson for us that in this gaming space, authenticity is more important than anything else.
Interesting. And the 360 name. Yeah, what was that? And the 360 name. Xbox 360 name is chosen to imply that the gamer is at the center of a massive 360-degree universe of entertainment, which provides something to enjoy no matter which direction the user looks. Choosing the 360 moniker also allows Microsoft to sidestep having the name it follows up with Xbox 2. At the same time, Sony was releasing PlayStation 3, a numeric confusion that created a false notion that technologically inferior, or technically inferior. I do remember that. Not the whole 360, you're the center of the universe thing, but we figured they went 360 because it was 3, because PlayStation 3 was coming out. 360 is launched November 22nd. Project Zero, Call of Duty, never played Call of Duty 2. Put a little bit Camino. Year 1 anniversary surprise. 360 1-year anniversary surprise. The 360 celebrates the anniversary with the launch of Xbox Video Marketplace, signaling moving more towards digital media distribution. That's right. But we never bought any movies on there. I remember just like mainly downloading game trailers. Alright, Gears of War launches. 360 Elite launches. Move up a level. Red Ring of Death. They actually put it in the museum. That's awesome that they acknowledge that. Red Ring of Death. The 360 is released with a white hot demand. Consoles are flying off store shelves when news starts to trickle back to Redmond from retailers and gamers alike. Something is very wrong. The so-called Red Ring of Death renders 360s unusable and self-destructs millions of consoles. Xbox faces a crisis. Fix the problem immediately or risk extinction. For the leadership of Peter Moore and Stephen Ballmer, Microsoft spends over $1 billion to repair faulty consoles and extends 360 warranty period 1 to 3 years. The replacement of faulty consoles affected by core digital errors concludes in 2011. I give them props for putting that in there. Most companies would not put in such a huge failure. 360 Arcade is launched. You have the Halo Museum. Notable games that launched in 2007. Halo 3, Mass Effect, Bioshock, Orange Box was a big thing. 2008 partnership with Netflix. I don't remember that. The NXE dashboard. The NXE dashboard. 3 years after Xbox launched with 360, Microsoft essentially relaunches the console through a major software update. The new NXE dashboard dials up Xbox Live social features, including avatars and Xbox Live parties. Yeah, that's right. I do remember this.
If you look at what Xbox Live,
you gotta make your avatars and whatnot.
Especially during the 360, they introduced the concept of avatars.
You had an avatar representing yourself. You would do things in game.
I remember this being such a huge big deal when it launched.
So that you could wear it.
Like you were getting banned for like accessing it early through
I use like a lady as my
downloading bits because off the internet and stuff.
I don't want people to know that it's actually me. You know what I'm saying? An old lady. You understand me? With a dress on. So they're like, oh, that ain't him.
They introduced Gamerscore, really. Because Gamerscore now, it's almost like what people would do in the late 80s. They would call any game system a Nintendo. It doesn't matter what game system you're using right now online. People refer to what you achieve on that as your Gamerscore. All these things, they created the vernacular for online gaming. All that happened during the Xbox 360.
The more people use our experiences, the more they participate in the
One thing with working with Microsoft, people sit there and I have to interview them and say, oh yeah, I love the Xbox, and ask what their gamer score is. They can't tell me. It's like,
something that's unique to
don't tell me you're a huge fan if you like.
360.
But you love achievements and stuff, and you can't remember what your own gamer score is. Notable games that launched in 2008. Fallout 3. I was in Canada that year. Project Natal. Which was the Kinect. Microsoft announces Project Natal, codename for what will ultimately become Kinect. For the first time, the hands-free gaming device allows gamers to be played using only body movement, gestures, and voice with no controller required. Yeah, it's a great tech. It was just not implemented correctly in a lot of games. But the ones it was done in were a lot of fun. It's sad that it didn't get carried over in a more efficient manner. But it's like it was too much reliance on like games having to be full Kinect or not. Zune. I think I still have a Zune in a box somewhere. Project Natal officially announced as Kinect. 2009. Whoa, don't fall off. Kinect is launched. I mean, this is a big thing. Everybody was really into it. I mean, I think games like Dance Central were really great. Kinect launches as an add-on for 360, selling more than 35 million units and becoming the fastest-selling computer hardware product of all time. You are the controller. It was basically a computer, Nintendo, and the Wii. The Wii had motion controls, and this was like Microsoft's answer to that. And then along it turns out that, motion controls are a novelty. Like 3D movies. It's cool, but nobody really cares that much about it. Not paid for all that. Microsoft used to just flaunt its money. Kinect. Okay. 360S is released. Kinect Adventures. The Metro Dashboard. That was the last one 360 had. Notable games launched. Gears of War 3 map, but Skyrim, definitely a big announcement. Microsoft launches Xbox Entertainment Studios, which was for TV, but didn't go anywhere. Yeah, this is not much about this because they didn't do anything. Xbox Entertainment Studios launched with a mission to make Xbox the ultimate all-in-one entertainment box for the living room, which was what the original goal of Xbox was to be the one-stop shop in your living room for gaming and entertainment. 360S controllers released. Horizon, that branched off a whole new thing. Let's go to Xbox One Museum. May 21st, they debuted the Xbox One. This was the disastrous launch. Xbox One debuts with big dreams of being... Oh yeah, I remember this. Go back. Yeah, that was the one of the studios we worked in. At the time, we were working in Studio D, but that was Studio B there. This was their soccer field. And the most annoying thing about this shit, and the reason why they don't do these things anymore, is because this was a FTE-only event. And vendors like myself and my team were not allowed to go to it because even though we worked on portions and actually features that made this console what it was, like game DVR, custom gamer pick, and all that stuff, we weren't allowed to go because we weren't FTEs. Xbox One debuts with big dreams of being an all-purpose entertainment juggernaut, but players balk at the new console's need for constant internet connection, bundled connect, and hefty $500 price tag. Nobody's balking at the $500 price tag on the Series X now. Yeah, Don Matrick and all of them were basically idiots. 60E launches with games with gold. State of Decay was not a good game. Like, I started playing it, I was getting into it, but I hate game-breaking bugs on it. Like, this is definitely the era of, like, games launched without being completed or being buggy and broken. Xbox One releases across the globe with its flagship launch taking place in Times Square. Macklemore and Ryan Lewis take the stage before the final countdown to celebrate the launch of the all-in-one entertainment center. Yeah, I remember we had to be at work until, like, we worked 24/7 that night. We had to work, I was at work until, like, maybe 1 or 2 in the morning when this launched. Battlefield, Forza, stroke recovery patent gets a boost from Kinect. Oh, is this when they started using the Kinect for, like, medical stuff? Gets a boost from Kinect. Stroke recovery with the Kinect is a collaborative effort between Microsoft Research Asia and Seoul National University, providing stroke survivors games and objectives that trigger simple, repetitive movements required for recovery in a relaxing and entertaining environment. The goal is to create an efficient and cost-effective therapy system that can easily be deployed in a patient's home. Yeah, the Kinect had more like medical applications for it than it did for gaming. Microsoft announces the Kinect free Xbox One. Yeah, Xbox Entertainment Studios shuts down October 2014. I think the one thing that they made was maybe the video portions to Quantum Break, and then that was it. Titanfall launches out of nowhere. Everybody was stoked for that. Minecraft, that's cool. Here's the Halo Museum. More Forza. Xbox games. Oxenfree is really good. Never played Long Dark though. Kind of surprised that's up there. Design Labs, where you get to make your own controller. S is released. Beam purchase by Microsoft. Beam was, I want to say, it's what Mixer got turned into, right? It had latency-free streaming, but didn't have the following of Twitch. The games, yeah, rebranded to Mixer. Game Pass is launched. Perfect. I left the company right around this time. Was it this time? No, it's 2018. I want to say. Yeah, because I had an Xbox One X, so yeah, I had another year. November, X comes out. That's Acquisition Studios Ninja Theory, Adaptive Controller. Yeah, I've left the company by now. Yeah, I left the company before June 2018. Oh, games that launched. Forza 4 is good. Sea of Thieves, meh. It's big now, but it had nothing to do in that game when it first came out. Xbox Game Studios, Xbox Pass, Game Pass Ultimate is created. We'll go to that. Now let's go to the Series X and S. This is really cool. I like this interactiveness that they gave. Project Scarlet. This is what I got to work on for the last 2 years, was testing the hardware in this. Microsoft reveals its next-gen console by its code-name Project Scarlet. The faster, more powerful console will be available by 2020, the holidays.
People knew we were working on next-generation hardware. They knew it was called Project Scarlet. But we had put together a plan. There was a small team of us, really dedicated teams working on the business for a long time, that went and sat down with Phil and the rest of the leadership team and said, hey, I want to be really bold and do the most unexpected things. I'm proud to be part of a team that was willing to go take that bet. You think about Xbox Series X, it's the most powerful device we've ever made. And we're
made in China,
focused to continue to make sure there is no power greater than
the bullshit thing about China is I believe like shit would get made there, go out on a ship, and then it would come back to China, be sold back in China, and then they would charge us the import fee for importing it when it was made there, put on a ship to go sit in the bay, and then resold. We're actually a surprise reveal live stream to millions of gamers across 40 countries. Oh yeah, the Game Awards.
World premieres are a big part of this show.
You were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. Dream.
We really have this ad for fucking ever. For 19 Gears 5. Azure Connect is released. Xbox Series XS is released. Microsoft shuts down Mixer. And one of the reasons I probably bet for this was like they're probably losing money. All right, they paid Ninja like $1 million to stream on Mixer only. And when they made that deal, I was like, that's ridiculous. And that's because the person running the program was like, well, streamers make $20,000 a month, so we gotta like pay them big time. It's like you need to sell the features of Mixers, man, not pay for entertainers, especially kid entertainers like Ninja who don't understand how to do shit right. Browser streaming launched in beta. Okay. Oh, they relaunched the Edge streamer. That's probably what it was. Okay, so we got Power On, the story of Xbox. That's the new documentary that's coming out next month. Cloud Gaming, which just got expanded. Now, my museum. This is specific to my gamer tag, which isn't my first gamer tag. So, first gamer tag was Dark Spriggan, but now it's this one, Z. So I've played 1,100 games, 1,177 games. That's got to be lucky. Total achievements earned 7,777. Number of rare achievements 3,819. So 8,005, 10,000, 74, and 14 in 2020. 13,000. Wow, 2021. Well, with Halo coming out next month, I'll probably beat 2020 then. Now, I actually had an original Xbox, but this account probably first played on the 360. One of the first games you played. One of them. I mean, one of the first games I actually played was Oblivion, because that's what I bought the 360 for. But I will hands down fight you to the death that Dead or Alive Extreme Volleyball is one of the best volleyball engines ever made. It is a really good volleyball game. One of the multiplayer games you played, yeah, Halo 4. I played all the Halos. Like, Reach should be on there, everything else. But that's the one Microsoft made, so that's why it's there. First sign on to live, 11/16/2006. Which, let's look up Oblivion. Not the film. Oblivion game. When did this come out? March 20th, 2006. I bought a 360 for this. I made this account probably as I gave Courtney my old account, and this was her account probably that I took over. First login on each console, 11/16, 10/30, 14, and 11/10/2020. First play of most played games. Oh, okay, so first time I played 10/28/2016, maybe, I guess. First game per console, Dead or Alive Extreme Volleyball, Dead Rising 3, and Tetris Effect. Now that's not true, because I played... First game I played on the Series X was probably Watch Dogs, so that's wrong. And that's definitely not the first 360 game played. First achievement, Prison Breakout, which I have no idea what that is. First rare achievement, Day 1. That's for playing for an Xbox One, I think. Most play games for each year. Mass Effect Legendary Edition, Cyberpunk, Tom Clancy's Division 2. Wow, I played a lot of that, really. Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim, Andromeda. Most played game, Elder Scrolls Special Edition. Top 5 most played games. Master Chief Collection, Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect, and Mass Effect 3. That fits. I played a lot of Halo, love Mass Effect. Elder Scrolls is probably my next favorite, although Mass Effect's my favorite genre. Halo has the most replay value in it, and Elder Scrolls is probably my favorite RPG series. Most rare achievements, Life Story, Lightning in a Bottle, For Prosperity, Master Archaeologist, and Basement Dwellers. No idea what games those go to. Because like rare achievements are only rare until everybody else unlocks them. Okay, so 166,339. Elder Scrolls 1,177. 7,777 achievements. That's just cool that landed on that number. Let's see. That's cool. Alright, that was the tour of the Xbox Museum. The Halo Museum goes a little bit more into just the Halo franchise, which is cool and all. But I think the My Museum part is probably one of the best things. So if you get a chance, you guys check this out. Museum.xbox.com. Really cool interactive thing to do. I say definitely check it out. But we'll be on later today at about 4 o'clock to stream some gameplay. Alright, so see you then. Have a great day.
Life in the beautiful